Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to get up on my chair to show you. Hi guys, it's Emmarie, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things I wish I would have known when I was growing out my hair. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you have not, and also ring the bell so you can get notified when my videos go up. I post every day at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And comment down below if you are interested in growing out your own hair. Let's get into it. Let's get into a little background about my hair. So, when I decided to grow out my hair, I knew nothing about growing it out. I didn't know the condition it needed to be in, like all the things you could and couldn't do, and how long it would take me because I knew nothing. I thought you just decided to grow out your hair. Before I decided to grow out my hair, the longest it had ever been was about here at my shoulders, maybe just a tiny bit longer. I've never had super long hair before this, so I had no idea the amount of effort it can take a person if they don't have really naturally strong, healthy hair. So let me show you. My hair, when I decided to grow it out, was right here, and now it is, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to get up on my chair to show you. It is a little bit, about to my waist. It's hard to tell with the sweater that I have on. It's like cut at a weird angle. It took me 4 years to grow it out, which sounds like such a long time. I don't want to discourage you because, like I said, I didn't know anything about how healthy your hair needed to be and how to take care of it or anything like that. So, knowing that, I wanted to talk about these things so you could learn from my mistakes and have a lot more pleasurable, quick experience about growing out your hair. First things first, if you're going to do nothing else, if you take away one thing from this video, I want it to be this, okay? Don't wash your hair every day. Washing your hair is not good for it. I'm not saying don't wash your hair ever because that's gross. Ugh. I'm saying don't wash your hair a ton. When I said I wanted to start growing out my hair, at that time I was washing my hair every day. Not only that, I was washing my hair with a more clarifying shampoo, which is like awful for your hair to do more than like once a month. That was really bad, and I did that for a full year before I read online that you really only should be washing your hair like twice a week, which I thought was so gross. I'm like, ew, that's disgusting. My hair will be so gross. You don't need to go that drastic right away. If that scares you, if you're washing your hair every day right now and that scares you to only go twice a week, start by going every other day for like a month or two, kind of work your way into it, and then build up to the point where you're only washing your hair twice a week. If you do this, dry shampoo will be your best friend. Like seriously, the two dry shampoos from the drugstore I really like are the Aussie dry shampoo. They have a really good one. That's the most affordable one that works in my opinion. And then Dove dry shampoo, that one's really good too. And then if you want to spend more money on dry shampoo, why not? The Living Proof dry shampoo is amazing. I got it in like a little hair kit, like a sample size, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's expensive, but it's so good. Moving on. Use a hair mask. Oh my goodness, this will make such a difference. So I do a hair mask twice a week because I'm obsessed, but you only really need to do it once a week if you follow some other stuff that I'm going to talk about. There are some great drugstore hair masks that you can get for like super cheap, and so don't be like intimidated like it's going to cost you 30 bucks. I'm going to be doing a video soon, I think January, talking about different hair masks, like buying ones versus DIY ones, so be watching out for that. So if you're in a spot right now where you have a lot of split ends, just cut them all off. Just go to get your hair cut, tell them I want all of my split hair ends cut off. Just do it, even though if it takes off 3 or 4 inches, it might be really hard, but it needs to happen, or else your hair is not going to grow either at all. It's going to stay in the same spot because you're just going to have breakage, keep it from getting any longer, or it's going to grow really unhealthy, and then you're going to get split ends like all the way up to your chin, and then you're going to have to just cut it all off, which would be really sad. So try to get ahead of it, and once you're on top of it, stay on top of it. I use a method, I'll link it in the description and the iCards, on how I keep my split ends under control, but you can always just go into the salon and get it done every like 3 to 6 months, depending on how easy your hair damages and how well you're taking care of it. Get a good brush. I cannot stress this enough. I had no idea that there were a dollar store brush is any different than any other brush. There's some really good brushes that are not super expensive. I really like the wet brush. I think it's awesome. It's kind of dirty, sorry. It's like under $15. I think it's like between $12 and $14. And I got this one 3 years ago, and it's doing great. Okay, since we're on the topic of hairbrushes, when you're brushing your hair, you want to start at the bottom. And this might sound like really dumb. You're like, okay. Or you might be like, oh yeah, duh. But I didn't know that. I like always just started from the top and worked my way down and brought all the tangles down to the sensitive poor little ends and then took care of them down there. If you started from the bottom, you'll end up getting a lot of little, like just little tiny tangles instead of like 3 big tangles at the way bottom. Cut the heat. And I don't mean cut the heat all the way, just cut it off. I don't use heat because I know if I start using heat, I will not stop. But if you have more self-control when it comes to heat tools, do not have to cut it all off. One of the reasons it took my hair so long to grow out was because I totally fried it with a curling iron and a straightener. And I'm not saying you have to go cold turkey or anything like that. I am going to be doing a video next week, I think it's going up, on how to do a couple different methods of no heat curls. And that's how I curl my hair if you've ever seen my hair curled in any of my videos. If you're going to use heat, I would say only like once or twice a week. And also, if you're choosing to use heat, you need to do a hair mask twice a week. You need to make sure that your hair is constantly getting nourished and moisturized. Also, make sure that the curling iron or straightener you're using is not over damaging your hair. So like if you have a straightener that's only has like 1 heat setting and it's like 400 degrees, probably not the best idea. Or it's a really old heat tool that you probably want to get it replaced. There are some affordable heat tools that you can get that help make sure that the heat is evenly distributed, so you're not like frying one part of your hair and like barely getting any of the other. And uses special metals and things to make it a little bit less damaging. Oh, also, one thing I did to kind of help myself get off the heat tools was I used something called the InStyler. I'll put a link in the description. It was one of the things they used on the Hunger Games set to curl Katniss's hair, which is really cool, right? I mean, that's just cool to have say that you're using the same heat tools as they used on the set of Hunger Games. It's kind of like little seashell looking clips that heat up on the inside like you would like a hot roller, and it helps it so your hair's not just wrapped around the heat tool. It like kind of just like surrounds it so it's not like directly touching it everywhere. Wash your hair in cold water, or at least warm water. Don't wash your hair in hot water. This can help you get rid of frizz, especially if you have curly hair. I notice a big difference even though I have straight hair. Washing my hair in warm water versus cold water, it helps fight frizz, but it also is just another good way to eliminate heat. Use a detangler. I didn't think that would make that much of a difference. It does, especially when your hair is starting to get a little bit longer and it's kind of in the sensitive position where it's like gotten longer than it like ever has or whatever, and it's just trying its best. Using a detangler will make such a big difference. I use a detangler even when my hair is not wet. I just use it on my ends, which there's a lot of them, and it helps a lot. I get really bad tangles right at the back of my neck, and it helps a lot. I really like the Pantene Serious Repair Mist Detangler. I've tried a lot of detanglers. This is the first one I ever tried and I thought they all worked like this. No, this one's like the best at the drugstore. Find a hair like leave-in conditioner or serum or oil that you really like and stick to it and use it every day. And you don't have to use it on your roots, just use it on your ends. I really like, I don't know how to say the brand's name. I'll put it on the screen right here because I'm not even gonna try. It's fine. It smells like fresh flowers and it doesn't weigh my hair down even if I use it every day. And this will just like be an extra little boost. It's like a little energy drink for your hair every day. This is one that I had no idea made a difference. Don't wear the same kind of hairstyle every day. If you're in the habit of wearing a ponytail, you need to like think about it a little bit before you do that. So if you wore a ponytail at like the crown of your head every day, or like 3 or 4 times a week, your hair is going to start breaking right where the ponytail sits all of the time, and it will be so sad at you. And then you'll have like, if you do this a lot, you might notice that you have a lot of breakage like right there or wherever. So I'm not saying don't wear ponytails, because how can you not, but just think about where you're placing it. Switch it from one side to the other, to the nape of your neck, to the top of your head. Same with buns. If you have to wear your hair like up for work or dance or whatever, you can change, you know, like put the bun on one side, then put it on this side and all that stuff. Just come up with like 7 different hairstyles that you can rotate through every day that aren't on it in the same spot, even if they're similar. And while we're on the topic of hairstyles, if you wear your hair in a bun or a messy bun when you go to bed, you need to stop using a ponytail to do it, okay? As soon as my hair was long enough that it was annoying when I would go to bed, that, you know, it got in my way, I started putting up in a bun on top of my head, and I would just use a ponytail to tie it off. That is so bad for your hair, okay? No ponytails for bed unless you're tying off a braid at the bottom. That's different because you can just cut off your little itty bitty ends. Most of the time, unless I'm doing like heatless curls, I still use a bun. I still go to bed in a bun, but I just use spin pins. I don't know where mine are right now. But they're just these little like DNA looking things. I just stick them in my hair with a couple of extra bobby pins and it stays pretty well throughout the night. Just find an alternative to how you wear your hair to bed. And the last one is, anytime you have the option, use bobby pins instead of elastics. If you're doing like an updo and you have a lot of braids, use bobby pins over elastics or anything like that. Anytime you can keep your hair more healthy, more strong, elastic can and will damage your hair. Not drastically, but especially if you use them a lot, over time it can give you split ends and damage your hair and that kind of thing. So anytime you can use bobby pins, do it. You'll notice a couple of hair tutorial videos I have up. Most of the time I am using bobby pins when I can, when I'm doing like a half updo, an updo or something like that. Don't be afraid to like use elastics from now on, because the first time I heard that I was like so scared of them. I'm like, they can hurt your hair, and I didn't use them for months, and then I was like, just use them more sparingly. I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below if you learned anything new about how to keep your hair healthy. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Mwah!